A very good evening. Welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Ashing Sani Veerasinghe. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Government says no plans to impose island-wide curfew while GMOA warns of high possibility of entering the community transmission stage on COVID-19. The time taken to approve a project for foreign investors drastically reduced, Tourism Development Authority announces. News in detail. Government Medical Officers Association warns that Sri Lanka is on the verge of a community transmission of COVID-19. Convening a media briefing today, GMOA further cautioned that the country will see a rise of deaths owing to COVID-19 if the country doesn't restructure the measures taken to curb the COVID-19. Accordingly, 7 children and 3 mothers have tested positive for COVID-19 at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital in Borella. It was reported that all of them were contacts from Paliagoda Fish Market COVID-19 cluster. In the meantime, 10 Special Task Force personnel have contracted the COVID-19 virus. Reportedly, they had recently visited the Paliagoda Fish Market where a COVID-19 outbreak was detected. Furthermore, the Parliament of Sri Lanka is closed from today until this Wednesday as the Parliament premise will be disinfected during these 2 days. Moreover, a 70-year-old male from Colombo too, who was being treated at the intensive care unit of the National Hospital Colombo, died yesterday, reporting the 16th COVID-19 death in Sri Lanka. The patient was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital on the 23rd of October to be treated for blood infection and had been later transferred to the ICU. Moreover, 351 COVID-19 cases were reported in the country yesterday. Out of them, 312 are close associates of Minuangoda and Paliagoda COVID-19 clusters, 36 from them are from the quarantine centres and 3 are foreign arrivals. Thereby, the Minuangoda COVID-19 cluster has surpassed 4,400 and the entire COVID-19 tally in Sri Lanka is now more than 7,800. Also, the Ministry of Health confirmed that another 130 patients who had previously tested positive for coronavirus have fully recovered and were discharged from hospital today. Thus, this brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 3,933. Thereby, the Health Promotion Bureau stresses that 8,846 PCR tests have been conducted in the country yesterday. Significantly, Health Ministry reaffirms that there is no scientific evidence to prove that well-cooked fish transmit coronavirus. Health Ministry also added that on the theoretical basis, the virus can survive on any surface and that cleaning utensils used for cooking, washing hands thoroughly and not touching face during storage and cooking must be followed. Also, it was stated that the fish markets can operate while adhering to the health measures of social distancing, washing hands and proper wearing of face masks. Internal Trade Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that the government has no whatsoever plan to go for an island-wide curfew at the moment and the quarantine curfew will be imposed only in the areas where the infected individuals were identified. Internal Trade Minister also assured that essential commodities are adequately available in the country and panic buying practice is not appreciated at this moment. Thus, Trade Minister made these observations at a function to donate medical equipment to the government hospitals as organised by Venerable Rajavalle Subutithero at the Sri Vajratnyana Dharmayatana in Maharagama last Saturday.
රජය වගකීම් බාර ගන්නවා මේ රටේ ජනතාවට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය පරිභෝජන භාණ්ඩ හිඟයකින් තොරව සැපීම සඳහා. දැන් අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා විසින් පසුගිය සතියේ ප්‍රධාන අත්‍යවශ්‍ය පරිභෝජන භාණ්ඩ 4ක බදු සම්පූර්ණයෙන් ඉවත් කළා. දැන් ඉවත් කරපු මිලට භාණ්ඩ ලබා ගැනීම සඳහා මේ දිනවල තියෙනවා කෙටි කාලීන වශයෙන් විශාල මේ තදබදයක්. නමුත් ඒ අනවශ්‍ය තත්ත්වය අවශ්‍ය තරම් තොග රට ඇතුලේ තිබෙනවා. දැන් උදාහරණයක් ලෙස සඳහන් කළොත් සීනි මෙට්‍රික් ටොන් 90000කට වඩා වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් ගබඩාවල ගුදම්වල රඳවල තිබෙනවා. අනිකුත් භාණ්ඩත් අත්‍යවශ්‍ය පරිභෝජන භාණ්ඩ පිටරටින් ගෙනීම පිළිබඳ සීමාවක් කිසිවක් නැහැ. ඒවා ගේනවා වරාය වහලා නැහැ. ගුවන් තොටුපොළ පමණයි වහලා තියෙන්නේ. භාණ්ඩ වැඩි වශයෙන් ගේන්නේ නැව් වලින්. ඒක නිසා භාණ්ඩවල හිඟතාවයක් නැහැ. දැන් ඇඳිරි නීතිය මුදා හරින ප්‍රදේශවල සතොස සමුපකාර ප්‍රාදේශික අනිත් සුපිරි වෙළඳසැල් හා අනිත් වෙළඳසැල් මගින් භාණ්ඩ බෙදා හැරීම සිද්ධ වෙනවා. දැන් අනවශ්‍ය ලෙස තොග රැස් කර ගැනීමේ කිසිදු අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නැහැ. මක්නිසාදයක් මුළු රටම වැසීම පිළිබඳ තීරණයක් ගන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ රජය. ඒ අදාළ ප්‍රදේශය තුල ඉන්න මේ ආසාදිතයන් මුණ ගැසුණොත් ඒ ප්‍රදේශයට පමණයි ඇඳිරි නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න ජනාධිපති කොරෝනා මර්ධන කාර්ය සාධක බලකාය විසින් තීරණය කරනු ලබන්නේ.
The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority announces it has made the tourism investment process easy by streamlining the project approval process with a single point of contact for the investors. Accordingly, Tourism Development Authority believes that the time taken to issue a preliminary clearance would be reduced at least by 20 days. SLTDA informs that the key objective of this effort is to provide a single point of contact for the investors in the tourism sector and to provide an efficient, effective and hassle-free investment facilitation process for tourism investments. Generally, an investor in the tourism sector has to fill individual applications for several line agencies for approval of a tourism project. The process therefore becomes complex and time-consuming and as a result incurs a considerable cost for the investor, and this situation at times also encourages third-party involvements which lead to corruption. Therefore, a centralized facilitation unit was established by SLTDA in late 2010. Thereby, the process is now streamlined and as a result, the time taken to issue a preliminary clearance was able to be reduced from 45 days to 25 days. The total average number of reduction of days taken for project approvals is expected to be reduced further in the future. This will be an integrated system where all the project approving agencies and utility agencies are connected. Chairperson of SLTDA, Kimali Fernando, added that SLTDA's Investor Relations Unit makes sure all upcoming developments in tourism by the private sector is developed in compliance to the existing regulations of the country, and it helps reduce low-quality and illegal tourism establishments, which will impact in eradicating informal sector of tourism in the future. It further noted that the entire process will be automated and the facility will be available for the investor to submit the application online and to track the progress of approvals. Stay tuned for more news after a short break. Welcome back after the break. Several five-star hotels in Colombo which have reported COVID-19 positive employees have assured that extra health precautions are being taken to control the spread of the virus and to ensure the safety of the clients. Hilton Colombo last Saturday confirmed that one of its employees has been tested positive for COVID-19 and the hotel has taken extra precautionary measures to curtail the spread of the virus. At this context, issuing an official media statement, Hilton Hotel in Colombo assures that the conducting temperature checks on all team members, guests and visitors of the hotel upon entry, heighten hygiene and sanitation practices with the minimizing of person-to-person contact will be continued with extra care. On the other hand, Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo also confirmed that one of their team members has been diagnosed with COVID-19. Issuing a statement, Shangri-La Hotel Colombo stated that they were notified of this staff member on last Friday. The hotel management further added that the affected colleague was asymptomatic and was detected as a result of the proactive testing and that the team member is now receiving medical assistance in hospital. Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo also noted that contact tracing is currently being conducted and as a precautionary measure, all colleagues who have recently had contact with the affected colleague are self-isolated at home until further notice. To this end, it was also added that the common areas and back-of-house areas of the hotel have been subjected to thorough sanitization and disinfection. All the essential health precautionary methods such as mandatory temperature screening, wearing a face mask and having physical distancing protocols have been put in place, the hotel further noted. Thereby, the management of the Goldface Hotel said that its employees who were subjected to PCR tests have tested negative to COVID-19 today. It said in a statement that the employees were subjected to PCR tests after a few of its employees had visited the Paliaguda fish market. It also added that it continues to adhere to strict preventive measures and the local authorities' guidelines. The Board of Investment has given the nod to start a comprehensive feasibility study for an electrified high-speed rail project from Negombo to the Colombo Port City and the Bandaranaike International Airport to Mattal International Airport. Furthermore, President of High Speed Train and Mixed Development Project, Dr. Parimalan Michael says if approved, the second stage program would bring $2.7 billion in investment to Sri Lanka. President of High Speed Train and Mixed Development Project, Dr. Parimalam Michael says that an MOU with the BOI has been inked with this regard and it has received approval to undertake the study for two sections of the project. One is the 53 kilometers from Negombo to the port city in Colombo, and the second stage is to conduct another line from BIA to the airport in Mattala with two stopovers in Galle and Mathura. Thereby, as per Dr. Michael, the first stage of the project will cost an estimated $1.7 billion for 53 kilometers, whilst the second stage will add another $1 billion. Dr. Michael stresses that Shinhan Bank, South Korea's second largest bank, has pledged it could commit 200 million euros in funding towards this project, which will be under a public-private partnership. Moreover, Dr. Michael stresses that Sri Lanka has much more to offer than the Maldives, but the country needs to fix its transportation issues. Without it, there cannot be any progress, as no one wants to visit a congested location. Rotary Sri Lanka announces that it needs a huge management process, commitment and greater involvement to defeat a disease as they did to eradicate polio from Sri Lanka. Rotary International District Governor for Sri Lanka and Maldives, Ajith Veerasinghe, says that the government should be assisted by other stakeholders to achieve that target. Rotary Sri Lanka commemorated World Polio Day, which fell on last Saturday, with awareness campaigns across the country through its 71 club network of Rotary clubs, together with its Rotaract and Interact clubs. The organization held multiple activities in partnership with the media and communities to create awareness and raise funds for the cause. They also launched a commemorative stamp for World Polio Day on the 24th of October at a simple event attended by Health Ministry Additional Secretary Dr. Lakshmi Somatunga, Deputy Postmaster General Rajitha K. Ranasinghe and several other officials.
So why we are doing this today is to mark about 25 years of eradication of polio from Sri Lanka. We always talk about this highly because we could be the last generation that we talk about this disease. Thereafter only it's surely will go to the history because today our children, they don't know what is polio. We have seen the crippled people, but not our children. So about 650,000 children worldwide annually was infecting at that time. So by releasing this stamp, we want our public to know that Rotary and the health authorities have done a great commitment, great contribution to the country, to the nation. How to implement this vaccination program, our health authority doctors, they know. People talk it because it has taken so far 35 years, but still we were unable to eradicate from the world. That itself shows not only money, it needs lots of huge management, commitment and involvement. So where our health authorities to be credited together with our Rotarians who went inside all the difficult areas in North and East.
We'll now take a short break. Welcome back after the break. The trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped 99.61 points to close at 5,669.33 and the S&P SL 20 dropped 43.09 points to close at 2,254.79. The turnover was 1 billion rupees and over 70 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. And that's all the news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care. Good night.